So we are now fastly approaching the halfway point of 2022, and we have had no shortage of talks, leaks, and rumors online suggesting that 007 Goldeneye should be getting some form of a re-release, remaster, or just plain out remake this calendar year. And in today's video, I want to boot up Goldeneye 64 together, have a broad conversation with where all these leaks and rumors actually originated from, provide a brand new update that just hit the internet around this game, and have that final discussion of whether or not we should be able to expect some kind of official announcement for Goldeneye 64 in 2022. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below, hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. As I mentioned, guys, today we're booting up Goldeneye 64. Heavy nostalgia already flooding through my veins as I just hear the classic nostalgic soundtrack that I haven't heard in far too long. Well, actually I have, because I use it in background videos sometimes for background music. But anyway, we're going to talk about first, while I just start this up, we're going to talk about why this is back in the news first, because you guys may have seen previous videos on it. I've covered it. A lot of other YouTube content creators have covered it. And essentially, there's been multiple leaks and rumors that this is sourced from. The reason it just popped back up on radar is because there was yet another Rare employee that was actually spotted unlocking achievements, and they're brand new achievements. They're not the one from that canceled Xbox 360 arcade project, but rather brand new achievements that are designed for a new game that has a different amount of point systems. So this game is real. It's at least a project. If it's just a fun project from Rare developers and they're playing it, that's a sick joke. But I quickly want to show the Reddit post that reads as followed. No one else seems to have noticed it, but an achievement was unlocked and recorded since the last bit of proper speculation about the Goldeneye 007 remaster. Again, by one of the Rare LTD linked folks. Big Sheep screenshot here. Profile on true achievements here, showing an achievement unlocked on May 2nd, 2022. Still hoping to see this during the showcase. It's time. So here's the deal. In case if you guys are not totally familiar, I may have my graphical settings up just a little bit too high here because I'm definitely getting some frame stutter, but playing a shooter with one analog in the modern era is hilarious as well. But so to quickly break down where these leaks and rumors originated from, there's actually a number of different things that happened. In addition to Rare developers unlocking achievements for an Xbox version of this game that it's like, okay, why are they unlocking new achievements for a new version of Goldeneye? There was, like I said, the original Xbox Live arcade project that was actually supposed to, I don't remember when it was supposed to come out. I want to say it was 2011 or 2013. And I'll have to remember how to switch all my guns and everything here. Oh, just the A button. So simple on the N64 controller. So there was a plan to remaster this back in the day. Microsoft employees apparently thought the deal was going to go ahead and actually developed an entire remastered version of Goldeneye. There was then a fallout between, there's MGM owns rights, Nintendo owns rights, and Microsoft owns rights. So that's three different major companies you have to get to agree on a deal and sign off. Apparently there was no agreement that was made with that last effort on the Xbox Live Arcade Edition, meaning that game, even though done, or essentially done, was completely scrapped. That ROM then later got leaked online. Then after that, you have kind of a brief period of nobody talking or expecting about a GoldenEye remaster to come back ever again in the future. You then have Rare employees popping up online, unlocking achievements, and to add fuel to the fire, shortly after that, or maybe it was before, I can't remember the exact order of events, you actually had the Germany ban lifted off of this game. And the reason it's significant is that the ban actually would have been lifted anyway, or at least re-reviewed to see if it should still be banned in Germany next year automatically. It happens every 25 years apparently. That's pretty much the deal on how they do things. Now, somebody from either Nintendo, Microsoft, MGM actually had to have paid to get this game re-reviewed and lifted off the Germany ban list early, and clearly you would want to do that if you were planning on re-releasing the game. So how do I press this button? There we go, the B button. Again, super simple. So one of those things that, why are they going to pay to re-release a game, then, or pay to re-review a game rather? Then in addition to that, you're going to have all of the achievements pop up online, and then to add fuel to the fire with everything else, Jeff Grubb says that he knows that this is a finished game, who of course, when it comes to Microsoft side of things specifically, Jeff Grubb's been a reliable insider for the most part on numerous different projects, leaking them ahead of time, because he's a gaming journalist that actually has connections in the industry. I trust names like that a lot more, people who put a face behind their name and have a reputation online, than just like your anonymous Twitter leakers that we sometimes see out there. But regardless, Jeff Grubb adds on to this rumor speculation mill and says, yes, these games are done, or GoldenEye Remastered's done. He believes that, I believe he said that Microsoft would be the one most likely to reveal it. But then a lot of people figured maybe Nintendo would reveal it as well. Now, there's no guarantee that this thing comes to Nintendo. It could just be a Microsoft project. However, since Nintendo is a rights holder, it would make an extreme amount of sense to make sure that the game also comes out on, here's the inverted aiming controls. You gotta love it. What were we thinking back then? It's one of those things that you would actually expect. You would expect to see Nintendo get their piece of the pie by getting this at least on NSO, maybe in the old N64 ROM version with online play. Then Xbox gets a full-on from the ground up remaster. Maybe they just split the deal. It doesn't come to NSO at all, and both the Switch and Xbox Live, or not Xbox Live, but Xbox rather, gets the game to launch on the service, probably Xbox Game Pass. That's a totally, realistic possibility I could see happening as well. But if you're Nintendo and you're going to sign off on the rights, you're probably going to get some version of this game on your console, because clearly this is a fan classic, and for good reason. Now, to be fair, it's a shooter that, I'll be curious to see how the current generation gamers respond to this, because in the Call of Duty era of gaming, like, I don't know how everybody will realize how much how this game is aged. But for me, I would much rather spend hours and hours of GoldenEye online multiplayer for the nostalgia factor than play on Call of Duty. Now, that's just me. Maybe I'm crazy, but I will take this game at full price release as a remaster, or I will take it however we can get it. And I know I don't really need to be underneath this bunker. I could just end the level right now. I probably should have just went back and done that, because I'm taking some serious damage. But I personally subscribe to the belief that they are doing something with this game. Between the Germany ban being lifted, and of course you have to have that lifted to sell it out of the eShop, which, in the European region, that's actually where Nintendo's eShop is based out of. Between Rare employees unlocking achievements online, continuing to unlock achievements, by the way, just most recently that new one popped up again back in early May. So there's a lot of smoke to this fire, right? So I think it's pretty safe to say that we're going to see it at some point. Now, Jeff Grubb did go on to speculate that he thought the only reason we actually haven't seen the game fully released yet is just simply for the fact that the real world situation going on right now, which is the same reason that we saw Advance Wars completely, really delayed indefinitely. We still don't know. Oh yeah, because I did not do everything I was supposed to do. So did I even unlock the next level? Gosh, it's been so long since I've been through the story campaign on GoldenEye. I can't remember how the level progression works. If you have to complete the missions entirely, I probably do. So you guys are going to get to see me play the first level twice in a row, but no big deal there. So, for me, I would just say that it makes too much sense not to do. There's too much smoke with this particular story for there not to be a fire around it, and it would make sense that they delayed it the same reason, or just held it back for a while, the same reason that Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp is, just due to the heavy Soviet plot. And whether you agree or disagree with it, it's a very real reality that they wouldn't want to bring it out around the height of that. But now we have to talk about those games are going to drop sooner or later, and I think if the thing that makes the most sense at this point is for GoldenEye Remaster to be maybe not a show closer, although I would argue it could be a show closer, or maybe even an opener at that point for the upcoming Microsoft and Bethesda showcase. If they want to hit it out of the park and get a bunch of people to subscribe to Game Pass, and then hopefully Nintendo follows it up with their Nintendo Direct featured announcement as part of Nintendo Switch Online, I think that's the window that we need to expect to maybe see this game talked about. Clearly, there's no guarantees with this. Maybe there is a holdup on the licensing right issues, and whatever attempt that was going to be a remaster re-release got this game totally scrapped once again, like we saw in 2013. But I definitely think it's notable that there are still Rare employees playing this game and unlocking the achievements. And I definitely think that it's almost summertime, and if we're going to see this game released this year, it absolutely makes the most sense for it to be featured at something like the Xbox Bethesda showcase, and then Nintendo gets their piece of the pie whenever the Direct happens. So a lot of talk online about this one. I think, Jeff Grubb hopefully does know that the project is a reality, and hopefully, we see it actually officially announced soon. I want to hear from you guys at this point in the video, your personal nostalgia for GoldenEye. Did you play hours and hours of multiplayer growing up, four-player split screen like I did? Because I have such heavy nostalgia for that, and just going through and 100%ing all the missions. I mean, the entire game through and through is still so much fun to this day, and clearly just playing the beginning level doesn't show you all this game has to offer. Also, some of the best background music in history whenever you're on the watch pause screen. But definitely one that I think we have to see come back at some point in time. There's a lot of information floating around online out there suggesting that it is a real project. So I want to hear from you, your personal thoughts and speculation. Do you think it's real? Do you think it's around the corner? And do you think we could see it show up at something like the Microsoft and Bethesda showcase coming up? What is it, next Sunday already? So do you think that that's where it's at? Do you think we're getting it somewhere else? Do you think it's not a real project at all? And do you think that Nintendo somehow sees a release of this as well, whether it be Nintendo Switch Online or just a standalone remaster? So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today in the video, I do want to hear from you guys before you leave in the comments down below, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around this topic. Go watch yesterday's video next if you haven't already, where we discuss some interesting marketing decisions from Sega, some great news for N64 games and their emulation, and a broad conversation around Nintendo and their presence at future gaming showcases. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.